Hello. Camera working, audio working. Thank goodness, блядь. Can everybody hear me? In the other lives, I always somehow mess up the tech. But it looks good. I see the little bar moving for the microphone. So I think it's okay. Okay. It is Tuesday, February 24, 2026. My name is Ivan Ivanovich Ivanov. Welcome to Slavic Therapy Live. As you know, my mission in the world is to cure the... Блять, уже make mistake. It's okay. It's Tuesday, you know? My mission is to cure the world of debilism one balvan at a time. And it is hard mission. Look at the vodka bottle. I go through one of these a day trying to help you deals. Hello, Ivan. Oh my God. Even my cat, you hear him? He is screaming. Don't be debil. But this is Slavic Therapy Live, where we'll just chat. We will chat. I'm here, you are here, we are friends. That is why you don't have to call me by my full name, отчество, you know? You can call me Vanya because we are friends. Yeah, before we get started, by the way, this is live. So if you guys want to take this chance to ask me your Slavic Therapy questions, please use the chat. The chat gets very busy while the stream goes. So I will make, as usual, this little Q&A that says, why are you debil? And I will start it, and you can ask questions there, and I will try to get through all of those questions, because sometimes I miss questions in the chat. How are you doing, everybody? Sounds good, Vanya? Okay, sounds good. So before we start to get to your questions, I have some emails that you guys have been sending me that I will read through. Ones that I did not use for the videos that I post, but we can do them in the Q&A live, whatever hunya you call this. And we can just chat a little bit. What did I want to talk about? The Olympics just finished. You guys watch the Olympics? Very interesting Canada versus USA hockey game. I am a big hockey fan because I am Russian, of course, and we like to play hockey. Disappointing that Russia was not in the Olympics. I understand I'm not going to make it political, but objectively, you cannot have best on best hockey tournament without Russian hockey players. I'm not saying anything about politics. That is an objective fact. Say what you will about that. I'm not saying they would be the best either. I think Canada and USA would beat Russia in hockey as it is right now. I think Canada and USA are on top, and then maybe Russia and like Sweden, something like this. Russia is better than Sweden, I think. And then there's kind of like Sweden, Czechia, Finland, and then the rest of them. There's a huge gap. But that was an interesting game. I live in Canada, so I'm disappointed that Canada lost, but good job to USA for winning the hockey tournament. What else do I want to talk about? I want to do more Slavic Therapy YouTube videos, maybe turn it into some kind of podcast. So I want to have guests on these in the future. Recommend some guests to me. I don't like, and I know like, maybe don't recommend like Johnny Depp. I'm not going to have him. I don't know how. I do know some very famous actors though. Shout out to Mila Jovovich, you know, Fifth Element with Bruce Willis, big movie from like 90s. She is a member of the Slav nation. So she is a firm believer of not being debil. Maybe I'll get her on the podcast in the future. But I meant like in general. I think it would be funny if myself, Ivan, interviews like some, you know, OnlyFans person and asks her why she does this to herself. Not that, again, you guys know my thoughts on feminism, modern feminism, if you've been watching the Slavic Therapy series. I am a feminist. I believe women should have equal rights. But in the West right now, I think OnlyFans hunya is debilism. You know, I'm not a father yet, but when if I have a girl, I want kids, I want family. If I have a girl, I don't know how I'm going to do this in the modern world. I will be very careful. Or I'm going to need to buy a gun. Not to use against her, but to use it to protect her against debilism in the West. Yes, Mila Jojovic is Serbian, but she is also not debil. So maybe I will have her on the podcast. Look out for that. I am touring. I am doing shows all over the place. I will be in LA soon. Hopefully, she lives in LA. Maybe we will do the podcast or remotely, huyotly, whatever. But I want to do it in person, you know. Okay. So I will quickly take a look if anybody asked a question yet. No, not yet. Quick look at the chat. Great success. How do Slavs express excitement? First question of the night. How do Slavs express excitement? We don't. Because even if you are excited, you have to control your emotions and not be overwhelmed. You can never be too high and you can never be too low. We know this, you know? Like Dostoevsky said, life is suffering. And I think the modern world, the Western world especially, but everywhere, this is, you know, everywhere in the world, people are on social media. We have Uber Eats, Who Eats. The entire world right now is trying to solve the problem of suffering. How do we minimize suffering in society? You know, we don't have to go outside and hunt for our food. We don't even have to go to a restaurant. We have Uber Eats that delivers it to your door. We minimize suffering, but this is, in fact, Dostoevsky said this if you read his books. Suffering is a requirement for humans to remain sane. If you, theoretically, if we successfully eliminate all suffering and humans live in a perfect world where nothing goes wrong, we will go crazy. We will invent problems for ourselves because we need to be in a state of, you know, we need to be in a state of working towards something, towards survival, right? Because that's how our brains work. If we have nothing to worry about, we make things up to worry about. And I actually think this is partially why Western society is collapsing, because we are so comfortable and we have eliminated so much suffering that everybody just makes up their own problems and turns into a debil, you know? What is there to worry about when you don't have to hunt for your food, when you are warm, when everything is good? What do? You have too much time to think, and then I don't know, you chop off your penis if you're a boy because you think you're a girl. This only happens in a society where people are too comfortable. Okay, so there we go. I got carried away. The initial question was, how do Slavs express excitement? I don't know, like express. I saw this funny video on Instagram. I think it wasn't a Slavic person. It was like a Finnish person, but the same mentality, right? He's like, the reporter was like, show us your happy face. Or, yes. He was like, show us your normal face. And the guy was like this, Slavic stare, you know? And then the reporter said, show us your happy face. And he went like this. That's how we express excitement, okay? Okay, what else? Exactly. Warm, normal person, wow, amazing. Slav, not bad. Yeah, not too high, not too low. It's important in life to stay centered and not get carried away. Okay, I will read this question. There's a question in Russian, but I will translate it to English. So it says, у меня есть вопрос, Ваня. I have a question, Ваня. Сколько русских языков ты знаешь? How many Russian languages do you know? Are you fluent? I don't understand the meaning of how many Russian languages do you know, because I only know Russian. And yes, I am fluent in Russian. Do you mean like Slavic language? Like, you know, like Russian, Serbian, what else? You know, like Macedonian, whatever. I know Russian, you know, Ukrainian. I'm only fluent in Russian, and I only know Russian. There is your answer. Do you have any advice to help me handle criticism on my YouTube channel? This is a great question, and I'm very excited. This is how Slavs show excitement right now. Me, I'm excited to tell you the answer, because as a blogger huyoger myself, I have followers on the Instagrams, Facebooks, Huybooks, YouTubes. This doesn't matter. The point is that because I put myself out there, I do receive a lot of criticism. Now, I have to preface this. You guys are the best community in the world. Like, I'm honestly, when I was starting this journey, before I had as many followers, I thought it would be very hard, but you guys mostly show me love. Like, look at the chat. It's like, it's mostly positive. Look at my comments, it's mostly positive. Now, if you look long enough in my comments, and if I show you my inbox, there's a lot of people telling me that they love me, and a lot of people telling me to go, jump off a balcony and, unalive myself. There is no in between, right? Because in between, and that makes sense. In between, nobody will tell you, like on the street, if somebody notices me, which I love, talking to you guys in real life, says, "Oh, I'm a fan of your videos," blah blah blah. Nobody comes up to me and says, Vanya, you're the YouTube guy, yes, a comedian guy, you are okay. No, it's either I love you or I hate you. On the street, usually people don't tell me they hate me. In fact, I've never had this, only people that they love my stuff. But in the DMs, it's either love or hate. And like I said previously, how do we show excitement? You have to understand that this is the way emotions and human beings work, okay? And you will, as a public person, get criticism, right? And you cannot be too high or too low, right? I interact, as you guys know, probably if you've sent me a DM, I've replied to you if you've been respectful or whatever, or if you really kind of pushed me, I replied to you in the if you disrespect me, I disrespect you back. But I try not to let people get to me, and I successfully do so because again, every day I get hundreds of messages, people telling me I'm the best, and then that I don't deserve to live. You know what I mean? So you can't, if you read into the positives too much, is not good. If you read into the negatives too much, is not good. You have to just take it as you can. It's my job to respond to you guys because you guys are, why I do this. So it's the best. So I try to respond to you guys. But if I see something too negative, I just scroll past it. Because what's the point? And honestly, there is nothing you guys can tell me that I haven't said to myself 3 inches from the mirror. You are debil. Why did you say the stupid thing yesterday in the elevator? Right? So yeah, that's how I deal with it. I guess I know it's there. I accept it as a fact, right? It's never going to go away. I'm never going to be able to say anything to my haters or the people that love me that make them feel different. I'm just going to put out what I feel, I'm going to express myself like an artist. And then what you guys think about it, it's up to you. You can subscribe, you can unsubscribe, you can go buy tickets to my shows, and you can block me and never think about me again. It's up to you, right? What my job is to just, make you laugh. That's it. And maybe share some wisdom. That's it, right? And obviously, number one job is to eliminate debilism. But you get what I mean. So I guess to summarize this, criticism will not go away. You can't deal with it by making it go away. The only way you can deal with it is by controlling how you react to it, right? A little stoicism for you. Marcus Aurelius. Whatever happens to you in life is out of your control. What you do have to control is your reaction to it. That is the most important thing. Okay, so great question. Are you a YouTuber? Sorry, I'm getting lost in the chat. There is a lot of people. I'm trying to find your. I lost you. I can't see you. But thank you for the question. Yes, I said unalive myself because I didn't want to say the other thing because I don't want YouTube to demonetize me. So I'm careful with what I say. I'll swear and stuff, but I don't want to say certain words that I'm scared will get me like a strike. Oh, there we go. I found you. The great and powerful. I mean, yeah. So the person who asked me this question about the YouTube channel is QWERTY123 is a great and powerful. One step you can directly take right now to avoid criticism is change your YouTube handle to something a little more simple. QWERTY123 is a great and powerful. But then again, my YouTube handle is my name, and my name is Puzhitsky, which nobody knows how to pronounce or spell. So, maybe I should take my own advice. Okay. I'll change it to Ivan. More simple. This guy, by the way, that has name on my YouTube channel, he is debil. He is not good guy. He should get a real job like me. I'm fighting debilism every day. This Matthew Puzhitsky guy calls himself a comedian. Suslik, bля. Okay, looking for more questions. You always make me laugh. That is my job. Is your wife home? Yes, she is home. Somebody was on the other live where she make impromptu. She made an appearance on my last live. She was instructed to let me do my anti-debilism consulting in peace. I love your content, and I am Canadian, but Croatian and Bosnian. That's cool. You really always make my day, to be honest. Appreciate support. Thank you very much. Shtukatura, hello. If they can't pronounce your last name, they are debil. To be honest, not really, because it is hard to pronounce. Okay, quickly look at the questions. Okay, I have one question in the why are you debil, and it's, do you like rakia? This is a good question, because I know a lot of you, right? It's not a secret. I'm Russian, I'm part Ukrainian, and my content, I brand it as Slavic, because I think we are all Slavic brothers and sisters. And therefore, a lot of people that follow me talk about rakia, 50% rakia, 50% vodka. Personally, being, like I said, Russian, Ukrainian, Polish mostly, I am a fan of vodka. Because you make vodka out of potatoes. Potatoes are life. Hashtag potatoes are life. Let's start this trend. However, what is rakia made of again? Hold on. It's made out of like plums, yes? High alcohol fruit brandy, originating from Balkan Peninsula, fermented fruit, most commonly plums, yes. Okay, so it's like, it's like gay version of vodka, right? Because vodka, you use potatoes, and plums look like bums. I don't know, it's fine. It's 60% gets me fucked up. I like it. But I prefer vodka. No offense to all you Balkan people. I respect you. Let's go Balkans. My number one competitor on Instagram, Balkan Dad. That guy is not as funny as me. I don't like him as much. He's a little too extra, lots of emotion. With this fucking toothpick. He seems like a suslik. No offense. This is inside baseball. Let's do a rivalry. Slavic uncle versus Balkan Dad. I guarantee you I beat the shit out of him, by the way. I don't know if you guys have been seeing my videos, but I'm getting more into martial arts posting and combining it with my Slavic content because I have been fighting for my whole life. I did judo, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. I will kick Balkan Dad's ass. I say that directly to the camera. Clip it, post it. I challenge Balkan Dad. That is the celebrity boxing match that the Slavic community wants to see. Balkan Dad versus Slavic Uncle Ivan. I challenge you, Balkan Dad, to whatever you want. Boxing, jiu-jitsu, MMA, I kick your ass. Muay Thai, doesn't matter. Let me see if anybody said anything. What do we think about Slovakia? I love Slovakia. They're pretty good at hockey now. Rakia connecting people. Anything with high alcohol percentage connects people, okay? I don't know if you realize this, but it's like, alcohol. This is the beauty about alcohol, okay? Alcohol is technically bad for your health, if you are suslik pussy, yes. But there is a sacrifice you make in anything in life. Like I said, yin and yang, right? There is no love without loss. There is no happiness without sadness. Without alcohol, there is a sacrifice you make physically. right? Because it is bad for your health. Oh, you don't sleep as well, blah, blah, blah. Your liver. But alcohol connects people from all over the world, no matter where you are from, what language you speak. We can have beer or shot of vodka, and then we are best friends. We talk about life. So the sacrifice you make of your health with alcohol is worth the benefit you achieve in your soul, okay? Because it connects you as a human being with other people. And I respect people that don't drink for whatever reason, if they're sober, for their health. Some people are, have brain chemistries that makes them addicted to alcohol. However, I also have to say to these people, don't be suslik, okay? Are you depressed? Not real. Just don't be sad, okay? Are you an alcoholic? Not real. Just don't let alcohol fuck up your life. Don't be debil. Drink, enjoy, and then stop. Do your job. Go to the factory, make the chairs, farm the potatoes, take care of your family, and then drink again. Don't let it get in the way of your responsibilities. That's it. Okay? Oh, but I'm an addict. Addict addict. Don't be debil. Enjoy alcohol. Don't overdo it. Just like anything in life. If you do it too much, it will kill you. Okay? Anyways. Vodka doesn't solve your problems, but neither does water. I mean, water solves your problem if you're dehydrated. Toronto show dates. Good question. I have a show in Toronto on Sunday, March 22nd. It's coming up in a few weeks. It's selling very fast. Montreal almost sold out, and I'm working on big things. If you guys know this guy, Ismo, ISMO, comedian from Finland, very funny guy. I am opening for him also in Toronto on March 15th. So that will be fun. So 2 shows in Toronto coming up. Opening for Ismo, March 15th, and my own show, Slavic Therapy Live, on March 22nd at Yuck Yucks Toronto. And then, guys, trust me, I am working on America and Europe. I am working very hard to come to America and Europe. Did your wife make you a sandwich again? Absolutely. Today was not sandwich. Today she made me soup, some eggs in the morning, and she brought salad from work. So my wife is the best. I had another question in the question section. Do I like rakia? I answered this. How do you feel about Russian gays? Wow. Okay, what a question. I think I answered this in my last Slavic therapy, but like I said, in this channel, there's a stereotype about Russian people, and my generation, not necessarily, but older Russians, more, Soviet conservative. We are, like I always like to say, Russians, Ukrainians, Slovakians, Balkans, whatever. We are all Slavic brothers and sisters. We like to drink vodka, we like to eat borscht, and we like to be kind of mean to gay people. This is stereotype, older generation especially, because we have more conservative values. My view on this is, I do not care what color you are. I do not care what religion you are, as long as you are not debil, okay? If you come to my shows, you see everybody. You see, white people, black people, Asians, Muslims, Christians, Jewish people, doesn't matter. Because we are all connected by one common goal, and it is not being debil, which is all that matters, I think, right? So that's what I think. I think it's also, if you are Russian and gay, you are like, it's like just being gay is its own issue. Like, it's hard in its own ways, but then being Russian as gay is like double whammy. You are playing on extra hard difficulty gay mode, because good luck coming out to your babushka. One day she's making borscht, you come to the kitchen and go like, hey, babushka, I'm gay. She's like, suka, blять, hits you with the tapachik. So my advice to this guy previously, let me see if I can find my advice to that I wrote from the video to the other persons that was Russian and gay, is you can't sacrifice your happiness for other people, so you have to just be who you are. But like I said, don't just come to the kitchen one day to your babushka and say, hey, I like penis in my mouth. She's going to have heart attack. And so you have to do it slowly, right? That was my advice to that other Russian gay guy that wanted to come out. I will find it right now and give you summary, but quickly, because I already go to Slavic Therapy 11. I think I have advice about this. Let me double check what it was. YouTube. Yes. Right. So I said that's about feminism. Yeah, like I said, it's very hard. I have joke about this. I will not give away. Yeah, like I said, my best advice is this is who you are. You can't hide it from your parents forever. You did not choose to be gay. You did not choose to be Slavic, but you have this difficulty, double difficulty mode. So do not live life for other people. You have to tell them eventually. But I basically what I said is you have to get your life together first, so you are separated from them. Is my advice. Like, don't be living in their basement, because then there's no divide. You are not an independent person. Wait until you are independent, like have a job, financially stable, maybe already like have a partner or whatever, and then tell them, because like it's hard if your parents do not accept you, because I understand this, and like a lot of Slavic people with immigrant parents and parents from a different generation will understands that mentality. Like, it will take them at least a little bit of time, and for that buffer, if they do eventually accept you, it will take them time. But you don't want to be dependent on them, because that will be a whole other problem, huinya. Okay, so anyways, I guess that is my advice. But who am I? Like I said, I don't have much experience in this, because I am married to a biological woman who I have sexual intercourse with consensually. But I do know what it's like to have Slavic parents that do not approve of your life decisions. Like I was saying, when I told my parents that I want to be stand-up comedian, blogger, huyoger, it was like coming out of the closet. I came up to them. I'm like, Mama, Papa, I need to tell you something is very important. My dad looked at me. He's like, I knew it. You're gay. I'm like, no, Dad, I just want to be stand-up comedian. And then he said, better if you were gay. You'd make more money. So that's my connection to the situation. Hi from New Jersey. Hello. Good advice. Proud Ukrainian too. Okay. Thanks for answering my question. You're welcome. Hopefully it helped you. Was it you that asked me the original question? I've gotten that question a couple of times. I'm happy that I included it here and in Slavic Therapy 11, because it isn't a unique situation that is also very probably prevalent to a lot of people. Okay, 34 people in the live, only 19 likes. Come on, guys. Don't be debil. Like, subscribe, do all that bullshit, or I will give you belt. Okay, so I will let the chat for a little bit, and I will let you guys ask your questions. However, right now what we can do is quickly look at one or two emails from you guys asking for anti-debilism advice. So I will share my screen and I will answer an email. Okay, window, entire screen, whatever. Inception. Okay, cool. Slavic Therapy Live, February 24th. That's correct. Dear Uncle Vanya, let me just double check that you guys can see what I'm seeing. Holy shit. All right, we're good. Dear Uncle Vanya, hello. I wanted to first say thank you for making your videos. I have appreciated watching them. You're welcome, блядь. I am nearly 35 years old and more on the shy, introverted side. Guys, like I said, I get so many people asking, like emailing me, like, I'm shy, I'm introverted, how do I make friends? Probably I haven't read this yet, but I can imagine they're either asking about how do I make friends or how do I find a relationship. My advice is always the same. Number one, if you're shy or introverted, vodka, like I said. Not good for your health, but very good for your soul and very good for your confidence. Drink more vodka, go out, make friends, get into a relationship, okay? That is one of the superpowers of vodka. Or like I said, any beverage with alcohol. And again, people will shit on me because they're saying, oh, like, don't alcoholism, huyolism, just, okay, don't be debil and get addicted to alcohol. Use it when necessary. If you're going out with friends, celebrating, don't get addicted to it, okay? Don't be debil. Let's keep going. I have master's degree, but I didn't find work in my field. I have been going back to school, but the past semester was super rough. What's your master's in? I wonder if you're going to tell me. I can't imagine people going to universities these days with all this. We're going through this AI revolution. I don't know what the workforce is going to look like. I don't know even me as a comedian, actor, blogger, huyoger if I'm going to be safe, but hopefully you love what you're doing in school. I work with teens. How do you work with teens? Given the current political situation, I want more context on that. And for the most part, I enjoy this. Again, let's hope we are given more context. But it's been part-time work and can be super demanding mentally and emotionally. Okay, I'm assuming this person is working as like a therapist with teens or something like this, or like some kind of social worker. Hopefully. Otherwise, hopefully we see your name on a special list on the news. But also, I have been suffering a little bit too because I am a hopeless romantic. Oh, there we go. I told you he or she is going to ask me about like, I am introverted. How do I find a partner? And feel like I'm never going to find someone who wants to be with me. I have never been in a romantic relationship. And it makes me sad a little thinking I'm not an option for anyone. This is okay. I know that someone isn't going to magically show up in my living room unless she's your wife and you ask her to make a sandwich. But I do not have the time, energy, or inclination to try dating. Okay, look, if you don't have the time, energy, or inclination to try dating, how in the hui will you find a partner romantically? You know what I mean? It's like, I want to be Olympic champion, but I do not want to train. I want to eat, but I cannot lift my hand to put fork in my mouth with food on it. It's like A leads to B leads to C. You know what I mean? You can't have C without going through B. It's math, it's chemistry, it's biology. I don't know what to tell you, okay? Then good luck to you if you don't have the time or energy. You're not going to find a romantic partner, okay? Okay, all the best. Iluki, my nickname should be Voronishka, but I made mistake, chose my email, couldn't change it, okay. Have you ever heard of Alexander Schmorell of Munich, the saint who resisted against Hitler? If you ever want to make a video about him, that would be awesome. I have not heard of him. I will look him up because I'm very interested in World War II history, so I will actually look him up. But let's get to your problem, okay? So, summary. This person is introverted. Vodka is the answer. This person is a master's degree, works with children, I'm hoping as a social worker, and he wants to find a partner romantically, but does not have the time or energy or inclination to try dating. You know what this sounds like to me? Excuses, okay? Very easy solution. First of all, stop moping. Oh, I'm introverted. I don't think I'm ever going to find anybody. Listen, okay? There is a zakuska for every shot of vodka. There is a lid to every pickle jar, okay? You have somebody out there that is a good match for you. But you will not find them by just snapping your fingers and they will appear in your living room. You have to go and you have to do the work, just like anything in life, okay? If you're an athlete, you have to train to win. If you are, a teacher, you have to learn the material before teaching. You have to do the work. You have to go out there and put yourself out there. Now, if you are introverted, that is an obstacle. But like Marcus Aurelius said, the obstacle is the way, okay? There's obstacles to anything worth having in life. You have to find a way to overcome them. And the only way to do that is in your control, okay? You can't just keep telling yourself, I'm introverted, I don't want to do this. Guess what? Then you're going to be stuck in the same position forever, okay? If you want to move forward, you have to do something about it. Go find even though you're introverted, you have to just be smart about it. You're in school getting master's degree. I'm sure you're not completely debil. You're just social debil, not intellectual debil. So sit down, make a yobane Venn diagram or something, and figure out how you are going to overcome your obstacle, your social introversion and your unwillingness to go on a date. Those are two big problems to have if you want a romantic partner. But guess what? They are not insurmountable, because so many other people in life are introverted and lazy. That's what your problem is. In this case, you are lazy because you don't want to work to achieve your goal. So don't be lazy, don't be debil. Go find a partner, блядь. Like, like I said, social introversion, you can try vodka. If that doesn't work, you can try not being a fucking pussy. Okay, and just talk. That works. Okay, you are what you decide you are. If you introvert, you will be a social introvert. One day, if you wake up and say, no, I'm confident young man or woman, I will talk to this person, and just do it. That's it, and if you fail, keep doing it until you succeed and learn. That's it. And then the time and energy. Look, that's an excuse. Time and energy. If you want something bad enough, you will make time and you will make the energy. I don't care how tired you are. You know how many people have to work 24/7 hours a day to achieve their goals? Doesn't matter. That's the only way to do it. Okay, so don't be debil and go find a romantic partner. Okay, back to you guys. Stop sharing. So I just answered the question email. That was a good one. But I'm showing you why I probably put it in here. I quickly skim them, and if there's something I feel like either I've answered it already in previous videos or it's like not as interesting, I'll put it kind of to the side. That was a good one. I could answer that in one of my future videos, but whatever. We did it during the live. Let's see what you guys said while I was gone, because I wasn't looking at the chat. I was focusing on the DBL that we were helping. Yeah, Q&A section of the screen. I will check that in a second. I'm just getting updated on the chat. Oh, Боже мой, you're reading my email. Well, what do you think of my advice? Let's have a conversation. Substitute teacher, good. That's cool. So this is a rare situation where I read the email, I gave the answer, and the person seems to be in the chat. Hopefully I wasn't too mean and they didn't leave. Her name was, sorry, where is it? Voronushka, something like that. Varushka 262. Are you still here, Varushka 262? Or did I make you cry? I want to see if she's still here, guys. This is important. This is drama unfolding. If you're still here, please say something. Varushka 262. Sound. Am I muted? Can you hear me? Guys, RIP, F's in the chat for Varushka 262. I think I was a little too mean to her and she left. However, like I said, I'm sorry. I was just giving honest advice. It was tough love. That's why we are here. So, but I think she left. Let's see, what did she say? She's a substitute teacher, so that's good. And what else can I learn from her? Okay, that's it. But anyways, maybe she will come back to watch this after when it's uploaded. Yeah, that was my honest advice. I wish I could have talked to you after to give you more advice given your personal situation. But I wonder why. I don't understand people that say, so I understand being introverted, but I do not understand people that say they want something and, like I said, they're not willing to put the work in to do it, because that's really the only way to get something you want, right? So I don't think I said something too crazy, but anyways, Let's check the Q&A. Dostoevsky or Chekhov? Dostoevsky. Although art is completely subjective, so for now, Dostoevsky, maybe at a later point in my life, Chekhov. That's why I like these guys, classic philosophers. The beauty about philosophy and classic literature is that there's a reason it's a classic. There's so much bullshit people put out these days that it's hard to filter through, and 99% of it is bullshit. But classics are classics because they withstand the test of time, and people recognize that there's something about them that touches the core of humanity that people can relate over generations. So to me, a classic, when I read them, I like to reread books. I don't read many books, but I reread a lot of books. Like, I think I've read this Meditations by Marcus Aurelius like 6 times now. Every year I read it once because I'm at a different point in my life and I get different things from it. That is a true classic. Are you a first-gen immigrant? Yes, I am. Dostoevsky all the way. I agree. If you want to know, Uncle Vanya, the text I put down earlier in the comments means you are the greatest of all time. No, I know what GOAT means. Like I said, I appreciate it. Thank you. I am not the GOAT. I am not even a little baby goat. What I was gonna say, like small version of goat. I don't know. Giraffe is the big version of a goat. What's the small version of a goat? Donkeys are even bigger than goats. But I appreciate it. But I am not. A pygmy. I am not even a pygmy. How does a pygmy look? Let me look it up real quick. Pygmy. I think I know what you're talking about. That's funny. Oh my God. That's hilarious. That's like a baby hippopotamus. Okay, let's go back to the channel. And let's read another email. I'm going to share my screen again. Chat, if the person that I read the email last comes back, tell her to stay and that I want to talk to her. But if not, RIP. I lost a follower, but anything in the name of fixing debilism. If I have to lose, that's the name of the game, you know? You can't please anybody, or you will. If you try to please everybody, you will please nobody. Okay, that's a life lesson from Uncle Vanya today. I was honest. I gave her my opinion. She obviously didn't like it because she is MIA right now. But I'm fixing debilism, right? Sometimes the right medicine is also a tough pill to swallow. Facts. Dropping facts on your ass. Okay, let's read another email. Enter screen. Share. Okay, your mission to heal the world from debilism. This is long. Fuck it. Let's just read it. Dear Uncle Vanya, if your mission is to heal the world from debilism, then our country is currently experiencing a real epidemic. COVID-19 is nothing compared to this. Sure, don't disagree with you yet. The source, actually, I agree, is that the level of debilism in humanity has been steadily increasing over time, even though you would think it would be decreasing because we have more, right? Like the global knowledge, right? We have books, we have the internet, we have access to everything that has ever happened, and all the knowledge that has ever been, most of the knowledge that has ever been acquired over generations of humanity. So you would think that human beings would become smarter as they progress, but something about this current state of the world is making us literally retarded. I can't even say debil. It's like, anyways, the level of debilism is very high. I agree with you. Like I said, belt is a good fix for this. If you ever see a debil in the wild, you have to just really give them the belt, and you're doing the world a favor. It might be illegal, but it's fine. Like I said. obstacles to everything, you know. The source of infection is waiting for you everywhere. TV propaganda, restricted access to information, brainwashing at work, at school, at university, wherever you leave your home, Big Brother watching you. 1984, classic book, I like it. Reference. Unfortunately, many people submit to this constant pressure and their illness progresses. So far, so good. Please advise how to protect ourselves in such conditions, how to keep sane and not become a debil. It's very hard. It's very hard. Sometimes I get like a little debilism cough, you know, not because, like I said, if I'm the therapist, I cannot have the sickness. I have to overcome it myself. But sometimes I get a little like, you know, debil version of the little cough, you know, debil, like that. I don't think many of the fellow citizens watch your channel, but I will definitely get your advice to them. I hope that all this shit will end someday, and I will be able to attend your show right here in Moscow. Yes, that will be hard. I would love to go to Russia to see my family myself, but traveling there as a Canadian citizen is difficult at the moment because of, again, global political debilism. That is between the West and Russia. So like both sides are debils. I could have written this in Russian, but I'm afraid KGB would intercept the letter. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, sincerely, Kay. Thank you, Kay. Wow, that is a loaded question. I will keep it on the screen while I answer it so people that are just joining can read. Basically, it was a very long-winded way of saying, how do I avoid debilism, which is the entire purpose of this channel and this whole series. So it's hard. It's hard. You can do things in your everyday life, like I said, to not be debil, you know, not be a suslik. What are some quick tips? Top 5 tips to avoid debilism by Uncle Vanya. Let's do top 3. Number 1 is control your emotions. We'll do top 3 ways to avoid debilism by Uncle Vanya. Number 1, control your emotions. Things will happen to you in life that you have no control over, like debils doing things around you. But your job is to control your actions and emotions so that you make sure that you stay on the straight path. Okay, so number 1 is control your emotions. Number two, I'm thinking of this as I come up with it. So like this is like in my life personally. Number 2, and this kind of ties into controlling your emotions, right? Number 1, control your emotions. How do you control your emotions? Is by controlling your judgment. Controlling your judgment on situations you find in life, okay? What do I mean by this? Okay, so if number 1 important is to control your emotions, when something happens, right? If I get a flat tire on my way to work, I could react like this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life. And for some people, it actually is. Imagine somebody that was born in a rich family in a good country with no war, and they, you know, they're spoon-fed expensive meals every single day. Nothing ever bad happens. And then they have to get a job. They go to work and they get a flat tire. For them, this is like invading Stalingrad. You know, it's the same level because for that person, they have not experienced the true pain of life. However, no matter where you are in life, and it's different for all of us, what we do have control over is our judgment when certain situations happen. So if you get that flat tire, your judgment can instantaneously be, oh, poor me. What am I going to do? My life is done forever. And same advice applies to the last person I was talking to, right? If you want a romantic partner, you're saying, I'm an introvert, I don't want to do the work. That can be your judgment. Or you can switch your frame of mind and say, that's fine. You know, good thing I have a flat tire. Good thing I have a phone where I can look on YouTube and learn how to switch the flat tire if I don't already know how to do it. Lucky me that I live in a country that has roads in which I can drive to work and even have a job to pay the bills and put food on the table. Okay, because not everybody has that luxury in life. So it's all about your judgment. So top 2 tips right now is control your emotions by controlling your judgment on situations in life. Number 3 tip is remember that you're going to die. Okay? Honestly. This might be, you think, come out of nowhere, but remember that you are going to die, so you don't have time. You said, like, TV propaganda, restricted information, brainwashing, school, university, every single so Dostoevsky, right? He was at one point in life, he was arrested and put in jail, and did this version of psychological torture on him, where they said he was going to be executed. And the moment before his execution, this was all scripted and planned, somebody came with a letter and they reversed it. So basically, it was psychological torture to make a man think he was about to die. And then after that, he made his best work. What he said that he realized in the moments before his death was how present he is. Every single second to him felt like an eternity. And he said that he would just imagine, if he had the rest of his life, whether it's 5, 10, 50 years, that it would be so much time to do what he wanted to do. My point is, it's hard for you to psychologically imagine that you are going to die, but know this every single day. Remind yourself that you are going to die, and you don't have time. You simply don't have time, because life is too precious to focus on the debilism that's going out there. Okay? Educate yourself on the debilism. Make sure that you are not susceptible to it. Control your emotions, but do not focus on the debilism. Like I said previously, somebody else earlier in the live stream asked me, Matthew, I slipped. Ivan, how do you react to the haters online that are giving you, saying bad things when you post stuff? I remember that I'm going to die, and I don't have time to sit here and argue with them about their politics or their huyolitics or their debilism. I don't have time. Every second is precious, because every time my heart beats, that's one off the total beats you have in your life, and they are not infinite, they are finite. So you have to make the most of each one of them. Okay, so don't be emotional, control your judgment, and remember that you will die, and that life is finite, and that you don't have time to focus too much on the debilism, and you have to focus on the important things in life, like your family, your goals, your health, whatever that is to you. That's different to everybody. That's the most important thing. I think if you follow those 3 rules, you will avoid debilism. Some bonus tips. I don't have many bonus tips. What else can I say? Like, right? Like, yeah, I think that's a good answer. So there we go. Let's see what you guys think about this. I'll go back to the chat. Sharing your screen. Okay. Where was I? Dostoevsky. I love that. That is the ultimate Russian philosopher, Dostoevsky. I love it. I can't remember where I left off. We must read War and Peace by Tolstoy in middle school. 4 books, 500 pages. That is important. I highly recommend you read that book or listen to a Spark Notes summary of it, because it's fucking long. I'm watching this stream while practicing my violin for a small solo performance tomorrow. Thanks for this content. You're welcome. But how do you watch the stream and practice violin? I think you have to focus more on the violin. I always tell people, like, subscribe, watch my content. But for you, practice violin. Come on. Don't worry. It's 53 minutes. We only have we'll do another maybe 10 minutes, maybe one more question from you guys. And then we will end the live for today. Good luck with the performance tomorrow. Violin is very difficult, but it is very beautiful. It's very Slavic of you to practice violin. If you guys think you're good at anything, YouTube 6-year-old Chinese girl doing what you think you're good at, and you will be humbled very quickly, especially in violin. Like anything, that applies for anything though. Like, name one thing, a skill, a hobby, an activity. If you think you're good at it, YouTube 6-year-old Chinese girl doing whatever you think you're good at, and you will realize that you are not even close. That's funny. That's like a tip for humbling yourself in life. let me see this. One of my favorite fantasies being a teacher in US plus reading Russian classic with students in school, seeing debil, arrogant Americans realizing their inferiority in fields that matters, literature. As you mentioned, the saying used to be someone took offense. It's a choice to be offended. I like that. Whereas assume today that it's not a choice to become offended. Yeah, it's a choice to be offended. Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky. I should know this. I'm embarrassed. Yes, I do like. I'm a little too ADHD to enjoy, like the classic music performances, but I have been to a few shows with my parents and with my wife, and I do enjoy it. Like if I like meditate and I sit down and I take it in, it's very fun. The Nutcracker. Okay, let me see if anybody else asked a question. Can you describe Anna Karenina in 30 words? No, I can't. 30 words. I'd have to like count the words and no, not really. That's hard. But I mean, yeah. Sorry. My aunt spoiled. Vorushka 262, you're still here. I see you in the chat. Tell me what you think about before we leave. Tell me what you think about my advice. Guys, she's still here. Good news. While she types something. So sorry, I'm like as I was talking about violin, classical music, ADHD, Anna Karenina. Yeah, no, it's Anna Karenina's very long book, as Tolstoy likes to do. But what I can do, like I don't know, like the plot is less important than the message. Like the plot is like there's this Russian beach and she's, there's all this like betrayal, love, family, and then like all these different class wars between her and the people she loves, whatever. But I think the beauty of Tolstoy's books, everything, including Anna Karenina, War and Peace, whatever. And my favorite book by him, like I said in my video about him, is the essays he wrote about what is art. My favorite thing about Tolstoy is his complex view on characters. How Anna Karenina is the main character, but there's so many characters that like by this time I've forgotten most of them. But the point is, while you're reading it, you see their motivations, and it shows you how in life there are reasons why people do things, and you shouldn't always jump to conclusions about why they do things. And there is never really a good guy and a bad guy in life, in real life. And that's what he shows by these complicated stories. Tolstoy shows that people have complex motivations for the reasons they do things. And usually these motivations come from something you have in common with them, a human element. By this, I mean the best person and the worst person in the world, they are both human. They're both people. Person is the key word there. So you have to be careful when you judge people, because of course there's evil people that do evil things. But like my favorite TV show, right? Like Breaking Bad, for example, like it shows you how this evil human being, this antagonist, Walter White, becomes this evil monster through little decisions in his life that you can relate to, right? Like, oh, I have cancer. I need to make money for my family. I'm a chemistry teacher. I will cook a little bit of drugs and sell them to pay for my chemo, not to put my family in debt. Like, those are all human, understandable decisions that lead him down the path to complete evil. And I think that's a very important message. Actually, a very good TV show. If you guys, I talk a lot about classic literature, but I might make a video about this TV show. It's called Dark. Have you guys seen it? It's on Netflix. It's an amazing TV show that is very deep and very interesting. It's called Dark. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. D-A-R-K. Very simple, Dark. And it also, the main theme in this TV show is like motivation. So I don't want to spoil it too much because it's not a well-known TV show. Like I don't mind spoiling like Anna Karenina and Breaking Bad, because if you haven't, these are classics, and if you haven't seen them by now or read them, too bad for you. But yes, Dark, check it out. What I will talk about is how, okay, the main plot is time travel. There is like a lot of things happen, and basically there is 3 points in time. So this scientist loses his family, and when they die in a car accident, he invents time travel to try to bring them back. And this causes this whole loop between 3 points in time that are 33 years apart, and like 1800s, 1900s, 2000s, and in the future. And then also there's a few universes that are intermingled, and it's very interesting plot, very good show. But the point is that they are stuck in a time loop that causes all these bad things. And then the protagonists realize that the reason that everything happens and they are in this loop is because the things that they do, no matter, like, you go back in time, you try to change, right? Instead of going to the left, you go to the right. But at the end of the day, if your motivation for going to the left or the right is the same, you end up in the same place, right? Like, you diverge and then you end up in the same place. So the most important thing is your motivation. Why do you do something, right? It's a theme of free will versus determinism. And something that is continuously repeated in the show is you do not will your will. It's by some German philosopher. Do you guys, let me see, what's his name? Who said you cannot will your will? I think we'll end on this after I explain this quote. Yes, philosopher Arthur, and this is German, so excuse my pronunciation, Arthur Schopenhauer, something like this. Man can do what he wills, but he cannot will what he wills, is what he said. And that's the main quote of the series. Yeah. So what do you guys think about that quote? Man can do what he wills, but he cannot will what he wills. I think it's bullshit. You know why? Because I agree that you cannot will, man cannot will what he wills. Yeah, I don't agree with this. It's so if we're doing the argument free will versus determinism, he's on the side of determinism. He's saying man cannot will what he wills. But this whole thing of, remember the last question, how do you avoid debilism? How to not be debil? It's, my advice was, don't be emotional and control your judgment. If you cannot control what happens to you, maybe, right? In life, bad things will happen to you, but you can control your judgment and your reaction. So my whole point is the opposite of this TV show and this German philosopher. Even though I love the TV show, and I'm sure this guy was a smart guy, he was kind of debil, because you can will your will. You can will your will. You cannot will what happens to you, because that is out of our control. I can step outside and a car can crash into my face and I will die, but I can control my judgment on every situation. And again, like, it can be storm and horrible outside, but in your mind, you can imagine a clear day. It is up to you how you perceive life. So I believe in free will. I believe you can will your will. And what's his name? Arthur Schopenhauer was debil. That is my opinion, but who am I? I'm not a philosopher. I'm just debil. I am just a joke comedian, huidian. Okay. Cannot force manifestation, you align. Let me check the questions one more time. Okay, thoughts about pan-Slavism? I'm not sure what this is. Joke, what Russians generally think about Western Slavs. What do Russians generally think about Western Slavs? I cannot tell you because I am a Western Slav, because I am Russian, but I grew up in Canada. So, I don't know, whatever. What I can tell you is who cares what they think? I don't give a shit. You shouldn't either. Пошли они нахуй. Do what you want to do and don't be debil. That's all that matters. And I think that's it for today. My voice is a little messed up because I was screaming in the Canada USA match. Hello from Russia. This person can answer. Mary, hi from Russia. What do you think about Western Slavic people? I don't think you have, like, why would you care about somebody? As long as they're not debil, like I said, doesn't matter where they're from, what color they are, what religion, what gods they pray to. As long as they're not debil, you are okay in my books. And that's a good place to end the live today. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Like, subscribe. I will try to do more of these lives. Thank you for coming on a Tuesday at 6 p.m. I know it's hard depending on what time zone you're in, but I will try to find, I want to do these on weekends because that is the best time-wise. Most people, during the day, they have time to log in, tune in live, but it's hard because my job that I do sometimes to make money, which is tell dick jokes on stage, I have to do usually during weekends, Friday, Saturday, even Sunday. So I'm usually traveling on weekends. But I will try. Yeah, 1 a.m. here. Thank you for logging in. You guys are the best anyways. Should I talk about this? I was just about to give my outro. Yeah, I'll talk about it. Fuck it. For everybody that's still here, you deserve this. And everybody listening later. I said, I kind of talked about this at the beginning. I'll leave this for the end right now because I said this stuff. I posted it like a few days ago about Russia not being in the Olympics, and people, I wasn't being political, like I said in the beginning. I just said you can't call it a best on best tournament without some of the Russian hockey players that are objectively the best in the world. And a lot of people got political on threads, especially, but I am amazed at how you guys actually listened to what I said and you weren't debils. Because, like I said, I'm partly Ukrainian, like all the Slavic people. I don't care where you're from as long as you're not debil. It taught me an important lesson. I'm going to try to not be political at all because I want to grow. I want to take this to another level. I want to build our community. But you guys, most of you, if you look at the Instagram and Facebook comments and on YouTube, were very positive about it. And truly, I think I was too worried because I thought you guys would rage right away. But you guys are doing a great job at not being debil, at listening and understanding the nuance in what I say. And I judged too quickly. I assumed that you guys will be like the rest of the internet and just take the first few words and rage. But you weren't, and you're the best. Yeah, that was a little encore. So I guess I'm just saying thank you for not being debil, and that maybe my anti-debilism lessons are working. You guys are taking it, so you guys, good job. Good job to you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. As always, don't be debil. And you guys are doing a good job at not being debil. See you next time, okay? Thank you.